असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय.
Namaste. Welcome to the wrap-up, the conclusion of the Udgītha Brahmana, the third section of the first chapter of Yakopanis. So here we're going to wrap up a couple of loose ends, and Shankaracharya is going to sum up the whole thing. In fact, the whole Yakopanis so far in just a couple of paragraphs. So let's get right to it and read his commentary from where we left off last time. Then, after chanting for the sacrificer with the 3 pavamanas, through the remaining hymns, the chanter who knows the vital force and has become identified with it should secure eatable food for himself by chanting, just like the vital force. Because this chanter knows the vital force as above described, therefore he is able to obtain that desired object. Therefore, while they are being chanted, the sacrificer should ask for a boon, anything that he desires. Because whatever objects this chanter, possessed of such knowledge, desires, either for himself or for the sacrificer, he secures them by chanting. This sentence should precede the one before it for the sake of sense. Thus it has been stated that meditation and rites together lead to identification with Hiranyagarbha. There is no possibility of a doubt regarding this. Therefore, a doubt is being raised as to whether, in the absence of rites, meditation alone can lead to that result or not. To remove it, the text says, "This meditation on the vital force certainly wins the world of Hiranyagarbha, even if it is disjoined from the rites. He has not to pray lest he be unfit for this world, for one who has already realized his identity with Hiranyagarbha cannot possibly pray for the attainment of him. A man who is already in a village is not eager about when he will reach it, as a man who is in a forest is. Expectation is always about something remote, something other than one's self. It is impossible with regard to one's own self. Therefore, there is no chance of his fearing lest he should ever miss identity with Hiranyagarbha. Who gets this result? He who knows this Sāman as such, meditates upon the vital force whose glories have been described above, till he realizes his identity with it in the following way. I am the pure vital force, not to be touched by the evils characteristic of the Asuras, that is to say, the attachment of the senses to their objects. The 5 organs, such as that of speech, have, by resting on me, been freed from the defects of these evils, which spring from one's natural thoughts and have become fire and so forth. And they are connected with all bodies by partaking of the eatable food that belongs to me. Being Āṅgirasa, I am the self of all beings, and I am the self of speech, manifesting itself as Rik, Yajus, Sāman and Udgītha, for I pervade it and produce it. I am transformed into a chant as Sāman, and have the external wealth or embellishment of a good voice, and I also have a more intimate treasure, consisting of fine articulation according to phonetics. And when I become the chant, the throat and other parts of the body are my support. With these attributes, I am completely present in all bodies, beginning with that of a white ant, being formless and all-pervading." So this is the summary of not only the Udgītha Brahmana, but the previous 2 Brahmanas as well, beginning from the description of the horse sacrifice. It is stated there that the combination of rites and meditation lead to realization. But here, he is asserting that even in the absence of rites, the meditation is sufficient. So this means that meditation is independent of rituals, but rituals are not independent of meditation and require meditation and the knowledge derived from meditation to deliver their results. So what he's saying here, first of all, is that the name of this mantra we've been studying is actually not the Pavamana mantra. Pavamana refers to the first 3 verses or chants of the Samaveda performed in the Agnishtoma sacrifice. Actually, the Upanishad doesn't give this mantra a name, but we know it as Pavamana mantra popularly, and I guess that name is going to stick because that's what everybody uses. But it's strictly not correct. So in another way, the chanter of the mantra is different from the chanter of the Sāman. The Sāman being the prayer of the Samaveda. The Samaveda is actually the chant that delivers the results. But the mantra that we're being taught, asato ma sat gamaya, and so forth, is an accessory to it that transfers the results of chanting the Sāman to the chanter of the mantra. Let's call it the Pavamana mantra, because that's how everybody calls it, even though the Pavamana is something else. So anyway, the chanter of the mantra then should ask for a boon. He should ask for whatever he wants for either himself or the sacrificer. That means the person for whom he is chanting. For example, in the old days, and even today, a rich man or a king can sponsor a sacrifice, and the priest, who is known as a ritvik, then performs the ceremony in the name of the sponsor. And so the result goes to the sponsor, but it also goes to the priest. And the way it works karmically is that the priest doing the chanting, actually doing the sacrifice, gets the result. And he sells it to the sponsor for the price of his donation. Very interesting. This is explained in one of Shankaracharya's purports, not this one. I think it's in another Upanishad. Then what about the result? Well, the result comes to the chanter because he is doing the chant and in a position to realize his identity with the vital force, the Sāman. Sāman in this sense is used as the vital force, not the chant of the Samaveda. So the Samaveda chant, Sāman, delivers the result of identification with the vital force, Sāman. I just wanted to clear all this up, just so it's perfectly clear, because there is some ambiguity in the text. But when he gets this realization, this result of performing the sacrifice by identification with the vital force, with Hiranyagarbha, that means he will attain Hiranyagarbha in the next life. He will be born as Hiranyagarbha in the beginning of maybe this universe or some other universe. He will experience that role in the creation and so on. So this is the result of this yoga. This is so powerful that it can lead to becoming Brahma, one of the 3 principal demigods of the universe, in the next life. But of course, that is not the ultimate realization. The ultimate realization is identification with Brahman, the unconditioned, eternal, changeless, boundaryless, immeasurable, inconceivable, inexplicable Brahman. And how this all takes place is going to be narrated in detail, beginning with the next Brahmana, the Purusha Vidha Brahmana. which we will start in the next series. Om Tat Sat. Om Shakti Om. Om Namah Shivaya.